welcome to Tim's Workshop out here in the mini shed. We're going to do part 2 of the test run of the 1965 1200 40 horse VW engine. The rear main seal was leaking. Got the right tool to install a new seal and got that done. This part of the test is going to see if that fixed the leak. The other part of the issue was the carburetor, and I've discovered why the engine wasn't running without me holding down the choke. So I'm going to show you what I discovered, show you how I fixed it. All right. Hey, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, leave comments, hit the notification bell if you like. Give me a like, hit the old hand thing, and let your friends and family and your neighbors too know about Tim's Workshop on my YouTube. All right. So let's get going on test run 2. So what I did is I took this apart and I had the diaphragm upside down, and this diaphragm that I have now is new compared to this one, and it has 2 rubber layers to it, which is kind of odd. But so this pin actually goes this way towards this lever, and that's what pushes this in and out. I had it upside down. So that's why it wasn't working very good. So I put all that together right, screwed it down tight. Before I put this back on though, I wanted to make sure that it's spraying from here up through here and out. So before I realized that I had this diaphragm backwards, I took this pin out that I saw in a video, took this out, took the insert out, and got the little ball. There's a check valve ball in here. So you carefully tilt it upside down, the little ball comes out. Sprayed through there, made sure that the spray was coming out good. Tested this to make sure it's spraying out the nozzle right. Centered the nozzle right, so the gap that goes all the way down to the bottom plate, this is spraying right down on that plate. So that's important too. Put it all back together. I got this right. Put the original jets back in, but I cleaned them, you know. Put it all back the way it was, and also the float too. I'm using the original float. Okay, the original needle seat, which works. That way they're all set up, because float might have been adjusted to that, which it was. We want to make sure it's, rather than putting the new one on and not knowing if it's adjusted right. We'll get this put back on. Now when you put this on, you make sure that all the holes are where they're supposed to be. And this is the locator pin here. There is a hole through here, but that's for the vacuum, I believe. No fluid comes through this. Let's put this back together. There we go. And put all these back on. Oh, one more thing I wanted to test is this. It has another brass tube right here. Okay, now that's for the idle. So let's take this back off. We want to test that. We want to make sure that that's actually working. Okay. This up in there. Well, I see spray coming out of there. Do it like this. Okay, it works. I just wanted to make sure that that nozzle wasn't clogged, and it's not, so we're good. There's five screws on this, and they have bolt heads. So if you want to make sure they're torqued right, which I have a hand torque tool, and I think these are 532s, which is 18 inch-pounds for 532s. So you don't want to over torque it, but you don't want these loose to where it's leaking either. So what I do is keep an eye on it. This is accessible. You can get to it to torque it if you have to. It's not like Mercury's where the screws are on the bottom. You know, instead on the top. You have to pretty much make sure it's torque before you put the carburetors back on. Okay, carburetor is now ready to go. So we'll put it back on, and we're going to do the test run 2 coming up here shortly. Okay, let's try it out. Turn it on. See if it'll start. Here we go. Great, that was 20 minutes. It's been 20 minutes, did the run. It was leaking out the front cover where the oil pump is, and then it quit. Sealed itself, I guess, I don't know. I'm going to go around and check the other side, see what it looks like. Make sure that vent opened up. Oh yeah, it did. So that's good. A little bit of a drip on the bottom. We'll let that cool down. The vent did open up. Heads around 130. That's about 140, 130, 130. So the engine didn't get overheated. Do have a couple little drips. Nothing I'm going to worry about. That's normal for a Volkswagen. And not leaking out the back like it was. So that problem's resolved. It was leaking out the front, but that kind of stopped. I don't see any leaking up from in this area, so that's good. So all in all, I think we're good, except for this carburetor. The automatic choke opened, and that worked. Something's wrong. I know this is haywire. That ain't right. That should retract back up. You should actually have to try to pull this back. So I think the accelerator pump, maybe that spring isn't strong enough. It should have some resistance, and it's not. I was thinking, well, maybe this is supposed to have a spring on it. I don't see where you put a spring. You put the throttle here, your throttle cable that comes through the doghouse. You hook that up to it. And then the noise, I think it's a fan itself. I think I'm going to have to put another shim on it, but I'm not sure. His sound is coming down from this area. I don't know. I might have to take this pulley back off and see what's underneath it. We'll figure it out. We got some more stuff to look at, but we got the break-in done. Now it's a matter of draining it and putting fresh oil in it. The rest of it is just stuff I'm going to work on. Okay, so back out here, I'm going to go over a few things that I discovered. Trying to make this video a little shorter and not so long because of troubleshooting. When you troubleshoot stuff on a video, it makes it like 10 times longer than it should be. So I've been, running it, finding stuff, fixing stuff, running it, finding more stuff. What we're doing now is, first off, I found a leak underneath here on the first run, and I said it stopped. Well, it started again. So what I did is I took the pulley off, the tin, the belt, and all that underneath there, and sealed up the studs and the nuts on the front. It looked like the oil was coming from the front, and it was, but it was also coming behind the cover as well, coming to the case half. And I got the gaskets in behind the plate and all that, but it still leaks, so just a little bit, but enough that you lose oil, and you don't want that. So it needs to be fixed. So I'm going to have to take this all back apart again, and this time take the cover off, clean it, and seal it up good, and then put everything back together and seal the studs and the nuts and the cover, everything. And I'm going to use that Ultra Seal. It seems to work pretty good at resolving leaks. We're going to do that. Then another thing, I was running it after I figured out what was wrong with the carburetor. The accelerator pump was backwards and all that. So I fixed all that. It responds real good now. I started it up. It was running, but it wasn't running very good. And then it died. You know, it just wouldn't stay running. And then I kept restarting it, and there again, trying to hold stuff open so it will keep running. And I'm going, this is screwed up. So what I did is I unplugged the choke, and the reason I did is because the terminal up here, I could see this thing was smoking. This choke was smoking a little bit, just a little bit, you know. I've seen it before. I put my finger up, and wow, that's hot, you know. Man, there's something wrong with this choke. So I disconnected it because I wanted to test the spark, you know. So I was checking out to see if the coil was any good, and I tested it, and I was getting kind of a high secondary reading on it, you know. And I went, well, is this good or not? And apparently it was okay. And I saw oil going, why is there oil on this plug? But then I remembered I did put oil on it to get this boot to fit up over it. So I don't know if that's what it was from, or this coil is leaking oil out of it. So I cleaned it. I put it all back together. I figured, well, let's test it for the spark. So I took this apart, hooked up my tester with the light, and started it. I was getting good spark out of it, consistent, not intermittent. Okay, so that works. And actually, it was running. It didn't die. And I'm going, oh, what the heck? What did I do? Was it just cleaning the oil off of this? Was it disconnecting the choke? So I got online and I started asking about it, and they said, yeah, that if the choke is bad, it'll screw with the amount of voltage that's coming out of your coil. And so I went, well, that must have been it, because it was running better earlier, and now it's starting to run worse. And I'm going, well, is the coil going out on me? Well, it might, but the main problem was the wire auto choke to the coil was messing with the voltage, and so the thing wouldn't run right. So once I disconnected the auto choke from the coil, the thing ran good. Before putting that on video that everything's great, I want to fix this oil leak. And I want to put my run leader up here, pack meter, and set up the idle. Now this screw here is controlling your idle. Once this is started, without the choke hooked up, you want the butterfly open. And this should be on the last notch, about like that, okay? There's the last notch. And then you just set this in and out until you get your idle set. So right now the carburetor is cold, so it's up on the first notch here on the on that. So that's good for starting it. But once it starts and warms up, because this is not hooked up, you want to get that set like that and then adjust it. So we got that to do, but that's when it's running. You can do that on the final run video. So the oil leak, test, get the RPM set. Oh, the noise that I was hearing is coming from this area. I put a fuel hose up to my ear, and I was putting it here, on the fan, down here, seeing if it's coming from this area, over here, on the heads. In this one I could hear a little bit. This one I could hear a lot more. What I think it might be is, I ran it for 20 minutes, right? Some of the parts are new, some of the parts are not new, like the push rod. I reuse the old push rods, but I have new lifters, but the rockers and all that, you know, they're all the same. The springs are the same, although the springs probably needed to be changed. But I put new exhaust valve guides in, just the exhaust, all of them. New exhaust valves. The intake part of the valve train was good. I didn't do nothing with them except I seated in all the heads really good. And that's on my videos, prior videos showing how I did that. That's why it runs as good as it does. So I'm going to go pop the valve covers, reset the valves all the way around, fix the oil leak, get it ready to run it with the run leader, set the RPM once it's warm. I think that's it. That's it for now, so we'll see you on the next one.